I told him I was making the announcement. I talked to Dion. I tell him I'm going on the Breakfast Club, all these things. And he goes, yo, you should be the chairman.
Dame Dash clarifies his chairman of Revolt comments. Let's talk about it. This is Fresh Hip-Hop Opinion with your guy Oleezeh. Don't forget to subscribe. So yes, it's been some time since Dame Dash made his appearance on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and DJ Envy. It was hyped as the biggest thing since Pacquiao Mayweather, Tyson Holyfield, and it did not disappoint at all. Heated discussions with Charlemagne, talking to Envy, he was a little boy. It got disrespectful, but it was also very entertaining. One of the announcements, the many announcements that Dame made on the show, was that he was now Revolt's chairman, which a lot of people, their eyebrows did get raised. How did Dame, who if you check his net worth, was worth around 100,000, allegedly, be able to be chairman of Revolt, especially with the amount of bad PR that Dame gets? Unfair PR. But news came out after he was on the Breakfast Club from Revolt that he was not the chairman, which resulted in Dame releasing a series of messages, emails, confirming the correspondence he had with DeTavio and others at Revolt, kind of saying otherwise. I got a clip of Dame explaining the step-by-step situation with Revolt and how the mix-up may have happened and may not have happened. Check out the clip.
And I'm like, he had no intention of selling that. He wanted to inflate it by saying, look at all these offers. And at first in our discussions, it was just us putting bosses take losses, busting down the profit with an advance. And I didn't even ask for one. He volunteered it, but with a pathway to ownership so I could see exactly how things were going. So I asked him and then he told me, I gotta talk to you when I see you. And we have a handshake deal, let's move on. I told him I was making the announcement. I talked to Dion. I tell him I'm going on the Breakfast Club, all these things. And he goes, yo, you should be the chairman. So I said, for the month. But I guess for them, they thought it was gonna be like Cameron's CEO for the day. That's how they took it. I'm like, nah, I'm the chairman of my and I am trying to buy. But I wanted to say that I was the interim chairman. And Dion said, nah, don't say interim chairman, just say chairman, because it's with everybody else. So he doesn't tell the rest of his crew he's doing this. And now they think I'm the chairman. And now there's pandemonium in his office. Doesn't that sound a little bit like what Cameron did when he went to announce he was vice president? Only difference is I didn't tell him to announce it. This guy told me to, I told him I was gonna announce. So I was gonna make the announcement, but I was gonna explain that I'm the chairman of my crew when I'm on Revolt, and that probably would have made it where it wasn't so much pandemonium. And before y'all let me just explain it, you cut me off. So now you my business, because it made my people I was working with uncomfortable, and now I have to sue them. So I hit them with a letter of demand.
Yeah, fam. So Dame clarifying a few things there, speaking on the whole chairman of Revolt situation. He mentions Dion. Dion was someone that Dame was having a lot of communications with, and it was actually Dion that said that Dame should be the chairman. Dame himself even said he was gonna say he was interim chairman. And Dion insisted, nah, that will confuse people or that would be weird for everyone. So Dame went on the Breakfast Club and said exactly what this Dion person allegedly has told Dame to say, that you're the chairman of Revolt. Now where Dame did hold his hands up is that he didn't get to properly explain and clarify what that consisted of. So he believes when he wasn't able to explain himself due to being interrupted by Charlemagne and DJ Envy, that the people at Revolt got a bit shook. They didn't like the situation, they felt uncomfortable, and that's how the business deal, I think, didn't go through. But as far as I know, Dame's shows are still gonna get on Revolt. So I'm not sure why Dame is saying he's gonna sue, because if the deal's still going ahead, then it shouldn't be a problem. But maybe it's because Dame has expressed multiple times that his plan is to buy Revolt, and this is maybe giving him reputational damage. But Dame also mentioned that he believes Dion allegedly didn't tell his team about the plan. And that's what caused a whole uproar in the Revolt offices. Because remember, they released a statement like the day after Breakfast Club came out that Dame was not the chairman of Revolt. But he somewhat did clarify with us though that he was just going to be chairman when his shows are on Revolt, not the whole company. Because when his shows are playing, he says he's the chairman of Revolt because he uses his staff, he's not using the Revolt staff that are there. Which kind of makes sense in my opinion, and I do agree with Dame. If he was able to explain that fully on the Breakfast Club, people would have been like, oh, okay, you're not chairman of the whole company, it's just when your shows are on, which to be honest, makes sense. But I don't know if Dame is saying that because he was interrupted so much by Charlemagne and DJ Envy that he's gonna still sue iHeartRadio. Because he's not gonna sue Envy and Charlemagne because they just work for the station. He's suing the people above. Well, he has hinted at it. He hasn't confirmed whether he's actually gonna sue them. The part that made me laugh is when he compared his situation to Cam. Because back in the day, Cameron got on the radio and announced that he was gonna be vice president of Rockefeller Records. That caused an uproar with the whole label. Beanie Siegel, Memphis Bleak, Jay-Z, they were like, what's going on? Even Dame was like, you weren't supposed to announce that yet, Cam. That was just a conversation. Even Cam has come out recently and admitted that he jumped the gun and that had a big effect on Rockefeller Records. But Dame saw parallels. The fact that this Dion didn't say that Dame couldn't say an announcement on the Breakfast Club, and he went and did it, but it wasn't really official, it wasn't signed on the dotted line. He saw the similarities of what Cam did. But the difference was, Cam made that announcement without anyone telling him to make that announcement. Whereas Dame claims he told Dion he's gonna make the announcement, and this Dion guy allegedly was cool with him making the announcement. But I do worry for Dame Dash. In other parts of that interview, he does mention a lot this Chris Brown guy, this lawyer that's been really kind of allegedly terrorizing Dame legally. He was representing 2 of the lawsuits Dame was facing in recent times. The one against, I believe it was her, a female called Brooks, who was suing Dame for copyright and defamation. And then there was another case Dame had, I believe it's for defamation as well. And this same Chris Brown lawyer was representing them too. Although Dame seems to have learned a big legal lesson. Every other sentence he's saying allegedly. He don't want no more suits, no more lawsuits at all. But I think it's good that Dame came out with this additional video. And it's good that he brought out the text, the emails, backing up what he was saying. Because otherwise, people be saying that Dame's lost his mind. Like, how'd you go from owing, 10 million in taxes, hundreds of thousands in lawsuits, to being suddenly the chairman of Revolt? But he's now clarified he meant chairman for when his shows are on Revolt. He didn't mean the whole company. Although he still has aspirations to own the whole company. He's just playing the waiting game at the moment. You gotta love a survivor though. Dame was down and out. Somehow he's not in debt anymore. He's filed for bankruptcy and it's all gone apparently. I'm looking forward to the episode where he actually goes and explains this. Cause I know 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy when he was meant to pay Rick Ross's baby mother a lot of money for releasing an explicit tape on her. But he filed for bankruptcy. I don't know if he ever paid that. That was a long time ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago. But I'm looking forward to Dame explaining that because he explained this one very well. I'll put a link in the bio for you can see that whole episode in full. There's a lot more he speaks about on his American New Network. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And for just a few dollars a month, you can become a member of the channel. Exclusive content. This is Fresh Hiphop Opinion. Peace and love.